Greetings, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of our Disco Elysium playthrough. Again, we are playing on hardcore mode, and where we left off from last time, we woke up from a drunken stupor. We don't remember anything about us. We don't even remember what our face looks like. So I think one of our missions today is to actually look in a mirror and figure out what our main character looks like. We talked to this nice lady in a wheelchair here who told us about another lady who can maybe fill us in on the world in the background, so we're also going to talk to her. And then we discovered that we lost our badge because we are the greatest police officer in the world. So we need to call the station and confess that, I guess. And then afterwards, we're going to finally get around to the cafeteria manager. So first we're going to go talk to the lady because there's an important perk that she gives us. Actually, there are 2 perks that she gives us. One will help us generate more XP so our character can level up quicker. And the other perk will kind of give us a money boost. But in hardcore mode, you receive less money, so I don't know how beneficial that perk is going to be. As you didn't really receive too much money from that perk in the standard difficulty. We definitely need the XP. Oh, and I was wrong last time. You actually get a small amount extra XP in this mode for all of your hard work and toiling at failure. Alright, let's talk to this lady here. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets, a silk scarf tied around her throat. Not sure if I would use the word throat. Sounds a little...
Good morning, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Now, let's be nice. Let's shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. Like steel. There's strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin. Thanks, interfacing.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode.
One way to put it.
Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Alright, thanks for covering for me, Kim. It happens quicker than a shooting star, but did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Alright, so what should our first question be? Just the statement, you're on a boat? Second one is, tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What do we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a great undertaking. There's a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent. So what do they do? The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. She points to the small dots on the horizon. See those airships there blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And to the east, towards the harbor, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms. The Wild Pines Group is one of the original, what was again? Ravashaw, right? Because I think it's a French word. Ravashalian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king himself centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain. So the king is the suzerain, I guess. All right, so you're in good company. Why, thank you. She does not register the real meaning of that remark. How much money does Wild Pines make? Just gonna get straight to the point. All right, let's see the tax records. The company is not at liberty to discuss the balance sheet, but I can tell you last year the company booked more than 20 billion rial in revenue. Now, I guess real is supposed to be like dollars because they do have cents. So 20 billion bucks or something like that, or 20 billion euros. Wow. Wow. 20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements in interest payments. A wave hits the sloop. She grabs the mainstay of the bow. The conglomerate, the size of wild pines, is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of the 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility. Well, where do they get the billions of dollars? They started off as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulin. Is that insulin? Insulindian Islas. 250 years ago, when Pine's ships explored the South Seminoes and the charted Lo Mantang on the behalf of the Suzerain. That's a bunch of words. That's a bunch of names and locations. I hope you guys are taking notes. They do shipping. Basically, this is I guess the East Indies Trading Company, or that's their background, and now they're more of a modern company. Centuries of care, deliberations, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. Probably helps that they started up as a monopoly. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? Looks around. You mean aside from the terminal's legal owners? She gives you a little smile. Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? 8% of all the cargo in the world? That is quite the endeavor. She nods forcefully. There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over, and I'm here to assure that that doesn't happen. You're on a boat. That's going to be my transition. You're on a boat. I'm a police officer, man. I didn't listen to anything you said. You're on a boat. Why, yes, I am. She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Does it have a name? The boat? No. It is a Corps de l'État. I don't even know how to pronounce any French. 19. Because that's the type of sloop it is. Okay, what kind of boat is it? It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated Category 1 race for Category 1 racing, though these days I mainly use it for business. Wait, so she was like a boat racer? That's kind of cool. This character seems alright. This business lady's got everything to put together, and I guess she raced boats. I like it. My sloop, I like it a lot. Her lips curl into a wry smile. It's the eel's hips, baby. Okay, I guess that's this universe version of the bee's knees. Okay, boomer. I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating. Thanks, Kim. We're just trying to be people. We're just trying to have a conversation about our rich boats. We didn't ask you. Do you have a license for that boat? I might. I'll just be a police officer. Hey, you have a license for that boat? Officer, I assure you, I'm highway. Oh my goodness, I'm talking like a baby here. I'm highly qualified. I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator. Say that one 5 times fast, kids. Man, I'm a can't read Hobocop. All right. The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull, as it seems. Thinks perception. What is that? She's got white teeth. Great. Is that a sign of privilege in this universe? All right, her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this. Lady, do you identify as a boat? This is going to be like one of those "Am I being detained" videos. Let's see. Naval law people. Not for a lot of people. Wait. Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Of course there are. She looks around. We are on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get here? Maybe those flying drone things? Wait, we're on an archipelago? I don't even know anything. Drank so much for the last 3 days. I don't even know what an archipelago is. Yes, we are. She raises an eyebrow. We are on the Le Calo. Le Calo. Le Calo sounds good. Kylo. The Lake Kylo Ren. Technically, the neighboring Ozone and the Face à la Mer Islands group are archipelagos, while the Le Calo, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago. These names are going to kill me. I didn't realize this is the real hardcore challenge, is actually reading this thing out loud. I had a good time reading it to myself, I remember, and I guess I ignore these words. I don't even remember these names. Wait, I thought Lake Cal was the big island, was one of the big islands. Now, interesting thing to note, this game was made in Estonia, and I wonder if this world shares any similarities. Estonia is a very small country next to Russia, and it has quite a few islands. I wonder if the name of the city has anything to do with Estonia's capital. Let's see. I thought this was the big island. Okay. She gives a crooked smile. If you want to get technical, the point is we're all on islands here, and the sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike. I still haven't seen it. I can still be an ass and just continue this questioning. Let's back off. Jesus. All right. I think we've handled the boat thing. Okay, what can you tell me about the strike? Everything, she smiles, right up to, but not including trade secrets. What if I want to hear about trade secrets? First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Alignments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite an octopus. An octopus? I will slay it! I'm a crazy man. Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interest of half of the civilized world, including your own. What the Madame means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM, I think that's the Ravishal Citizens Militia, and I think the Citizens Militia is supposed to be based off of the police force in Estonia after the fall of the Soviet Union. So there's definitely a cultural connection between this game and Estonia, something that me as a American am not entirely familiar with. I kind of want to go read up on that stuff. I'm not sure if there's much stuff available in English, though. Does anybody speak Estonian? Is that the language they speak? Anyways. But get their authority from the coalition government. You're shooting yourself in the foot, in other words. But I am derailing us. Actually, that was probably me. You wanted to know about the strike. What is your role in this precisely? I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. I am in practice a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines, and in return, Wild Pines counter offers. And how are the talks going? They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago after that awful lynching took place. Wait, she just admitted the lynching and the strike are connected. Now, they won't even let me into the harbor. That's the 2.22M. What? Oh, sorry. That's a, there's a, oh my goodness, we really can't read. There's a 2.2 meter racist behemoth blocking the gates. I think my brain wanted to reject that sentence and not actually read it because I just said that there was a 2-meter racist blocking the gates. Okay, tell us about the behemoth. What can I say? The Union employs a giant covered... excuse me there, sorry. What can I say? The Union employs a giant covered in tattoos. She pauses. A racist giant. Again. Okay. Racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now. So, the strike is connected to the lynching. Her eyes narrow. Yes, I believe there is a connection, and that's a subject for later. Howard talks proceeding before the lynching. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I had hoped for when I first arrived. And when did you first arrive? I arrived 3 weeks ago. She thinks. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do things on site, like the RCM. He looks at his notes, but the strike began in December. This strike has been going on for a long time. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gamont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gamont despite concessions he had granted the union in prior negotiations. This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike? Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. Ludicrous even, it's meant. What are their demands? There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What do they say again? Oh, yes. Every worker, a member of the board. Oh my, that sounds like a nightmare. Most workers probably don't know what that means. I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. I think that's the bigot response. Or the fascist response, which is kind of wrapped all into one. Seems like they have no idea about business. This is probably number 4 is the one I'm probably going to agree with. I like it. I don't like it. I don't know what to think about it. That is true. Forget it. I want to ask them about the strike. Seems like they have no idea about business. In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. I think demand a democracy can also be interpreted the same way for some people. What does that even mean? Most of them probably don't know what that means. Let's just ask Joyce. It's quite simple. You see, every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about what? About anything, really. It needs a signature from each of the 2,200 workers on the Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of the 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. So this union is demanding that their 2,000 people be board members of the larger company, even though they're on the island. That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be king, the king is long dead. That's just funny. It's dumb. They are having a blast, but can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was that they would prefer a more practical solution. What are they going to do? I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up. Just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over. All right, something is a little suspicious about this. I don't think... I wonder if they're genuine about this. Something's up. And now people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation. There was if there ever was one. Excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From whom did you hear about this lynching? Her reply comes quick. First, I heard it from the Boya. Boya. Boya? Boya. We'll do Boya. At the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think his name was called Call Me Manana. Okay. What happened to Gamont? Mr. Clare told him, how do I put it? She pauses to compose herself. F off, little person. Galmont is short in stature, you see. Not cool. Keep in mind this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before who was more than fair with him and the Union. Okay, so Mr. Clare sounds like a jerk. Tell me about this Union boss, Mr. Clare. Everett Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. Quotation marks, I assume. If you say one thing about him, if you could say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interest of the workers first. Really? Of course not. Everett is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he is a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier. Oh my. Okay, hand-eye coordination. What's going on there? What's going on with that picture, too? You're creeping me out. Sounds like you're about to take a rapier to him. Is he that bad? He can't be that bad. Is he that bad? He is the most corrupt individual I've ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother Edgar. Wait, there are two of them? Well, they're multiplying. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for the lazy eye. He talks exactly like Everett does, and when one's term with foreman is up, the other one takes over. So we just got a rotating door of brothers. It's like they circumvent the term. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. It's with a funny little switcheroo. While the office they have embezzled, God knows how many years, how much of workers' dues. Okay, so they're just exploiting the union. What about the union itself outside of the brothers Clare? Oh boy, the Dubarders union was once a perfectly normal institution. I don't know why I switched to this voice. 20 years ago, anyway. They must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did. I can respect that. She adjusts her hair. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into, how do I say? She hesitates, looking for the right expression. A mob, the lieutenant says succinctly. The Dubadairs are a crime syndicate. Sad as they may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them. Should I talk like that for Kim? Oh, that will get embarrassing. Refreshingly honest, officer, she nods. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions are only emboldened by Everett and his brother. She turns to you. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm curious. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see, she explains. Would you say the Dubadairs union is? The Dubadairs, whatever you say that? Effective advocate for the rights of the working man. I don't think so. A giant leech sucking the life out of Ravishal. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have a giant leech. Indeed. And a hungry one, she nods. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with that amounts. Sadly, Wild Pines has cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers. One more thing. You said something happened in the elections. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yes. On the last day of the local chapter election, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Ooh, she got Ross Perot. This forewoman, her name? This forewoman, her name? Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She was just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name. I don't have access to the Union files. Eerie. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is these kind of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with them. All right, noted. Let's change the topic. What can you tell me about this lynching? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask your names and badge numbers. Of course, madame. We should have introduced ourselves. The lieutenant hands... the lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic. I'm Lieutenant Kistoragi from Precinct 57. He points to you. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. I'm sorry. That's a terrible game. That's an absolute terrible game. How curious. She returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you. Why is that, detective? Remember when I said my partner told you I'd recently suffered an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to that. I see. She looks increasingly worried. You are saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost my memory of my life and the world. Oh, dear. She sighs with confusion, sadness even. What kind of... Oh, my goodness. Epicephalopathic amnesia. Again, sorry people, Hobocop here can't read. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, as naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you'd gain from faking such a condition. Neither do I. As I said, madame, the lieutenant interjects. His technique is very unconventional. But he is an officer of the Elysium. Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share any more until I've seen that badge. Negotiate my way out of this? That ain't happening. Then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do. Of course. She grabs the mainstay and leans towards you. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. This situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better off all of us. The better all of us are. All right. Do I keep asking? I think I need to ask for the perk thing. You seem smart. I need someone to give me the lowdown on this reality we're in. This reality? She pulls her hood closer around her neck. Yes, the reality is your side case. An experimental side case. Thanks you two dramatic little voices in my head. Let's see. It's related to the medical trouble. I'm having trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality. Yes. The episode sounds like an acute case of encephalopathology. And now that I think of it, she puts down her terminal cup and looks at you. Her terminal cup or her thermal cup. Jeez. Hobocop again. Striking out on this reading thing. Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of this reality. We may be here a while. She takes a long sip of her tea. Ask away, officer. I'll help you however I can. All right, we're in. All these all look like good. All of these all look good. But begin with the first one, okay? Okay, so Encyclopedia say like, hey, here's your dialogue options. I've looked them over for you beforehand. I'd start with the first one. Where are we? We're in Martinez, baby. Baby. A casual term of endearment popular in the 50s, popular with the 50 plus crowd. It's a disco holdover. Pay no heed. I'm a disco holdover myself. Ha! She smiles. Aren't we all? Was that like a boomer wink? Did they just boomer wink at each other? Oh my. She refers to your corresponding. She's referring to your corresponding ages. And what is Martinez? Martinez is a district of Revachol. She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbor, north of 881 and Jamrock. Oh, sorry. I don't know what any of that means. And you would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say, forgotten even. Shelled smithereens during the revolution. She shrugs. It has its charms, but not this time of year. So what's Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city. What kind of city? The great kind. What makes Revachol great? History detective, this city, they built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least, our centuries. Okay, who built it? The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from the Semenine and Ilmara, depending on your creed. Okay. I assume there's some kind of underlying tension going on with this city and its past. I'm not going to ask about that. So when was it built? It was built in the DeLorean. Okay. All right, Marty. About 380 years ago. And why will it resolve it? And I have to ask. Okay. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. Tensions are highest. The faultiness, the fault lines deepest. Oh my. By that I mean conflicts, ideological conflicts, the stuff of men. Why here? We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain 200 million people. In the middle of the, what was that again? That was the thing that helps with diabetes. Again, what was it? Insulindic ocean. She's the world's connective tissue. She smiles. It's where the money is. Okay. So we are an unimportant part of an important place. Okay. I think that's fair to say. Martinez is about, she points across the river where the skyscrapers rise. A sparkle of lights on the horizon like morning stars above the curvature of the planet. 21 kilometers from the center of the world. That smoldering iron is the Bank of the World building. The bottom floors of Insercom, coalition government. Insulindarian Mission Command. Oh my goodness, I'm reading like Captain Kirk here. Silence. She lowers her hand. Sorry, I won't do that. Okay. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. Or remembering it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it. Say nothing. Observe the large body of water swelling cold. Oh, got it. Cool. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks silence slowly. This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you? Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, Mom. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask.
He turns to you.
About even the most fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking all of them right now? Madame, Monsieur, we'll be here later too, and tomorrow. It isn't that true, Madam?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term. Actually, I don't want to make fun of Kim. Kim is actually a pretty cool character. I like him. You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue this later. This conversation has gone on for way too long. I'm sorry. I'm going a little crazy already. He nods. Better not to eat all of your candy at once.
Oh, sorry. Better not to eat all of your candy at once. My accent is breaking all over the place.
All right. Thank you. That's all we're getting out of here. Of course, Detective. Take care. All right. So this is what we wanted. We want to go here to what is called the Thought Cabinet, which is kind of like our, kind of like a skill tree in a certain way. And we've got two very important skills that we've unlocked from talking to Joyce here. This one, the 15th Indo-Tribe, is going to give us extra money when we click on things. But first we need to internalize this skill. So what happens is it takes about, oh man, I think this takes way longer than, yeah, these take way longer than before. This one I think was supposed to be like an hour and 20 minutes or whatnot, and this is 3 hours and 25 minutes. So it's definitely good that we got this early. So sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to internalize these thoughts on these slots here. So I only start off with 3 at first. And once they brew in our minds, we'll gain passive abilities, or even, I don't know, some negatives. So you might get one that would increase your perception by 1, but decrease your charisma or whatever that skill is called by a couple of points. I think hardcore mode makes those benefits and those negatives a little bit more extreme. So I wonder about the passive money thing. So sorry, this one here will give us more money when we click on some of those. I can't remember if it's the green or blue little circles that you see scattered around the world. And this one will also give us extra experience, which we definitely need right now. We've only got 50 experience points out of 100. We haven't even leveled up yet. I can stop researching these at any time or internalizing these. However, once they're internalized, I will have to spend a skill point to get rid of it. So you definitely want to make sure that you get the right one. And these are all very vague. They don't tell you. So unless you use a guide, you're not really going to know. Or if you, like me, you've played the game before. Although I played it several months ago, so I don't really remember too much other than this. So this is basically my main strategy for going into this game. All right, so let's get back to the car over here and report our badge missing. So that's why I wanted to go talk to Joyce first, because since those skills take a long time to internalize, I'm going to be talking to a lot of other people here. So I need to get those things started as quickly as possible. Otherwise, I'll be missing out on a lot of extra bonuses and money and all that stuff. All right, let's take a look at this car here. Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery bearing the number 57. Vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. Well, we've been talking for a long time. We've been talking for like an hour with Joyce. Geez, this engine runs really hot then. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. The Corpus Chiema motor carriage. Okay, that was the loud noise that we heard at the beginning of the first episode. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, and a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. A scent of leather work and heavy fuel oils wash over you. Let's get the tools first. I want stuff. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools are inside, neatly organized. Oh, as expected from Kim.
Take whatever you need, officer. This is going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools like some men are.
Okay. I'm taking everything then, Kim. Let's see. First, we'll take a red tip plier. Yoink. The plier feels nice and cold in your hands, heavier than you would think.
Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids.
I need to figure out voices for these guys, although that might get annoying with me. Take the rubber-handled chain cutters. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap go the cutters in your hand. It's a little creepy. Hey, Kim. Snap, snap. You can do work with these. Cut chains, locks, and ropes, especially belts. For the car? What belts? Let's see. Take the hand crank flashlight. Hand crank flashlight. That sounds annoying. It's robust, weatherproof, and well made. Police issue blue. Oh, fancy. Let's see the things in the dark you would otherwise miss. Push in the pull-out toolbox. Okay. I think we understood what happened there. We pushed it in. Let's pick up the radio and face the consequences of our drunken actions. The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static. This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
The radio... Operating the radio is easy. Just confidence. Just be confident. You've probably done this 1,000 times. All right. Come in, Delta 10. This is Firewalker. Copy. This is Officer Alice Dimitri from Precinct 57. How may I assist you? You could swear she was friendlier with the lieutenant. Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is. Do we? We can't really select that. Ignore Alice and press the button labeled saved. All right, let's be a jerk.
As always, this is Mr. Flamingo, and you're listening to Speed Freaks FM, bringing you the hottest, the nastiest, the most...
Oh my God, Kim, what are you listening to? A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says...
Someone must have been messing with my radio. Maybe it picked up a random frequency. You wanted the prime rate, right?
Speed Freaks FM, huh? Look him in the eyes.
Is that what they call it?
Trying to act not he was trying to act surprised. Go for it. Turn the radio back on a while. It's Speed Freaks FM. Right. You don't want to get into this. No problem. Let's be nice. Nothing to get into, really. Oh, sorry.
Nothing to get into, really, but sure, let's focus on important things.
He pats the motor carriage. This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone? The voice on the shortwave repeats. Could you connect me to the 41st Precinct? I have something I need to report. Just a second, officer. She puts you on hold, the static crackling softly like a bonfire. After a while, you hear an old man greet you from the radio. His rattly voice is oddly familiar.
10-4. Oh, sorry. I got the numbers wrong. 10-2, 10-5. This is the 41st. Come in, over.
The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code. 10-4, Station 41. I've got urgent business, over.
10-4, 10-5. What's your status, over?
Just reporting in, over.
10-18, state your message, sir.
I don't know where we're going. Are we going with Gunny from Full Metal Jacket here? I need to report my badge is missing.
10-9, over.
My badge, I can't find it anywhere. Basically, it's gone.
10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need a 10-22 to Captain, over.
Is that him? A dry voice in the background. What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge? Hey, who is this?
This is Communication Officer Jules Perdue, sir. Over.
No, the other one.
Oh, you mean your partner? Over.
What is he saying?
He's asking who you are.
I'm his goddamn partner.
It's your partner, Satellite Officer Viquemere. Viquemere. Sir, over.
Did he lose his memory along with his fucking badge? The man in the background sounds like he's losing his patience. Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think? It's Officer Dick? He tries to keep his speech. He tries to speak through laughter. Let's see. Mulligan from the bestseller Dick Mulligan and the Lost Identity. Dick Mulligan is not your name. It's just the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself immediately. They're laughing at you. Thanks, authority. Officer has lost his badge. Like the first cop who ever misplaced his badge.
He says he probably happened to other police officers before him, laughing sarcastically.
Oh, god damn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gotta be dicked for this.
Satellite Officer Vesquemere is wondering if you might be joking, and adds that it tarnishes the name or the reputation of the entire station. Over.
Mulligan dicked us. Come on, operators. Okay, we'll move on. Can we just move on? I want to get it reported and be done with it.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just making a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come in here. You gotta hear this. Dick Mulligan lost his badge.
What's that? What's going on?
Super Cop lost his badge.
He lost his what now?
I don't know what voice we're going with. We need a gruffer voice for that guy. I don't know. His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge. I imagine that's how he's saying it. Could you all please stop for a moment with his lost badge for a moment? Could you all stop with saying that?
He asked you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
Why? Okay, so let's see. Who is this guy? This guy's like a Vin Diesel guy. This guy. I'm gonna talk about this. Okay, we'll do it like that. Okay. Why did he find it? The other. That was terrible. That was terrible. The room at the other end of the line erupts into volcanic laughter. Sergeant Thorson was wondering if you found your badge over. Yep, over. Okay, my goodness. You don't have a comeback, sorry. It's hard to think of one in a time like this. Say nothing. He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. You can hear laughter in the background. Enough of this show. Enough of this now. I have other things to discuss. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that over. The animated conversation in the back is making it difficult for you to hear. New heights for even Captain Sober. Ask him. The speaker grasps for air. Oh, he's laughing. Ask him if he lost his gun too. The room laughs, roars in laughter. Oh my goodness, I'm slipping all over myself right now. Sergeant Thorson wants to know if you lost your gun too, over. Check your pockets. Check your pockets. Holy fuck, don't you know where it is, don't you? Oh god, I don't have my gun. No, it's gone. It's not fucking on you. 10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We're wondering where you're about your gun, over. 72% chance. This is a red check. This cannot be retried. All right, here we go. We're gonna roll the dice. This is gonna end poorly. Oh, we got it. We got it. Lying on the phone. It's easy. It's just like the truth. Then it becomes... No, of course I didn't lose my gun. He says he didn't. Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine the poor prick who has to relay that kind of news to the captain. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can't have some gangbanger running around with it. Some gangbanger's probably running around with a gun too. Oh God. Oh God, that's not good. We're all glad to hear you didn't lose your gun, officer. Do you need any further assistance, over? 10-10, over, in the call. All right. Roger that, 10-10, over and out. The static at the ends with a loud click, and everything is silent in the cabin. Close the door. Oh, boy. That went swimmingly. We just lied to our bosses. I'm sure that's not going to come back and bite us in the ass or anything like that. All right, we're getting a little bit long on this episode. My voice is getting a little bit tired. Sorry for these terrible voices. I hope somebody finds them entertaining. We're just going to have a fun, chill playthrough of this game as I kill myself with hardcore mode. We're actually not having as many failures as I thought. So that's certainly nice. Anyways, we're going to go up to this mirror here, and we're going to actually try to see what our face looks like. And call it an episode with that. A mirror hangs above the bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Oh my. Was this not the same Elaine that founds the empires and lays waste to the cities, virile, uncaring towards the little things? Oh my God, conceptualization, get over yourself. Logic, probably not, no. Okay, I like that my logic is just telling my conceptualization. No. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just a vague impression of a man. Wipe the mirror. Suddenly you realize that you have no memory of your face that awaits you underneath the soft vapor. We're wiping the mirror. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort! You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you're about to see, and you will never unbecome it. I don't care. Wipe in the mirror. Ooh, God. I forgot that the face was that bad. Okay, this big portrait here is not too bad, but man, look at the portrait down at the bottom. Oh, look at that smile. That's a charmer there. You should not shave that mustache ever, dude. You have no idea who this thing is. Dear Lord, help me. What's this? Whatever it is, at least it's dead now. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with your face? We're getting smack talked by the mirror here. Our face looks so bad that the mirror is talking down to us. Wow. I have no idea why it's here. It just is. Please stop it. It's horrible. You're scarring yourself. Okay, try to stop the expression. Oh my God, you can't stop. It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin on your face and now it won't come off. Oh, Mother was right. Don't stick your face in that position. It'll get stuck that way. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Superstardom, of course. You check yourself for a pulse superstar. You should check yourself for a pulse superstar. From here, it looks like a cadaverous spasm. Check for a pulse. You find no sign of life in your swollen neck. However, putting your hand on your chest reveals an irregular heartbeat. You appear to be alive for now. Let's see. Even on this one. Let's see. You deepen your mind to locate an expression. You attempt to stop the expression from happening. That's not going to happen. All right, let's end on this one. Let's look deep in our mind to locate the source of the expression. Like, why are we smiling like this? Oh, nice, we got it. It belongs to the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time has passed from a failure of revolution that for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate uncontested way of life for our species. Okay, so I guess this is basically post-Russia or post-Soviet Union Estonia. They got this capitalism and then they got a malaise after that. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling it the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. Forget the ostentatious orchestrations. For Ravachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guimont le Mian. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right. Well, that's... I didn't need you, drama, to tell me that I'm not pronouncing things right. Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music in open-air Beauté de Nuit, somewhere in Ravachol West, Guillemot's blonde mane appeared on screen. He sang some bullshit and then made the expression, so I adopted it. Why? Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought it was some kind of stardust. Maybe you thought it was some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only a grimace remains. This is fantastic. Anyways, we'll conclude that for right now. I'm going to call this an episode. Oh, we got a new thought. All right, let the mirror be. Okay, I hope you guys had a good time. Join back, I think, Wednesday or Saturday for the next episode, episode 3. We're going to go downstairs and actually get this murder investigation underway. Do what we should have done 3 days ago instead of drinking. And maybe take a look at the body and figure out exactly what is going on. Hope you guys had a good time. I'll catch you again later. Peace out.